hi everyone, I hope you enjoyed your first Zoom lesson, and in this video we're just going to really revise and look at what we learnt in our Zoom lesson. So we learnt three notes, our first three notes, and they are E, F and G, the E, F and G note. And in this video lesson we're just going to remind ourselves of two things. First of all, where we find those notes on our guitar, and also where we find these notes on our music staff, because they're in two different places. So let's take a look first of all of where we find these notes on our guitar. So to play the E note, all we need to do is take our thumb, or if you're holding a pick, you can play the bottom string. This is string number 1, the string closest to the floor. So we just play that with our pick or our thumb, and we go in a downwards motion, okay, to play our E note. And you'll notice I didn't have to hold down any strings with my other hand. To play my F note, I take my index finger, okay, of my fretting hand, and I put my first finger still on string 1 but in the first fret. That's the first little box on our guitar. And remember, we're using the tip of our finger to press down nice and firmly, and we want to keep our finger quite close to the little fret wire. We talked about that in your very first lesson. So we're going to play the F note, okay, and that's found in the first fret. The next note that we're going to remind ourselves of is the G note, and this time with the G note we're going to use our third finger. That's our finger beside our pinky, and this time we're going to put it in the third fret, okay, or the third little box, and we're still on string number 1. So with our third finger pressed down firmly, using the tip of our finger, we play our G note. So I'll just remind you of that. So our E, we just play the first string on its own. The F note, we use our first finger on the first fret. And then our G note, we use our third finger on the third fret. Now that you know where those notes are on the guitar, we need to remind ourselves of where we find those notes on our music staff. Okay, so your E note is found just under the first line of the music staff. So anytime you see a note just under the first line, you know to play your E note. To play your F note, or the F note rather, is just on the first line, okay? So the F note's just on the first line of your music staff. So every time I would see a note that's just on the first line, I know that I'm playing my F note. And then the G note is just above the first line on our music staff. So every time I would see a note just above the first line, I know I'm playing my G note on the third fret. You might just want to practice these notes, making sure that you know where to find them on your guitar, and trying to remember where you find them on your music staff. And when you feel confident doing that, you're ready to move on to the next video and to learn song number 1.